Hello and welcome to another Minecraft tutorial with me, Gruva. Now today I have for you this blaze farm that you can see behind me. Since 1.9, blaze rods actually became something that you need if you want to do potion brewing and all that kind of thing. I mean, you always needed one for the potion stand itself, but now you need it for actually brewing the potions. So blaze rods have become something that you do actually need in the game quite regularly. So I decided that I'd have a go at making my own blaze farm, and this is what I came up with. And there's quite a lot of redstone going on down there, but this kind of relies on the mass number of blaze sort of dealing with themselves and getting themselves into one point, up to a degree. And I'm giving them a little bit of a helping hand with the slime blocks and the pistons and bits and bobs down there. And also the trapdoors really help, because see that? They just walk straight over the trapdoors, they don't realise that they're open and fall straight down. You could do this with a lot less of the pistons and the slime blocks and things, and I'll explain that in the tutorial. But yeah, this is what I came up with, and the real thing which I think sort of sets this one apart is the translocator system, the 1.9 translocation bug for pistons. So down at the bottom here I've got a little system set up. Let's see if we can get in and get an actual good view of this. So the blue block there is where the power comes in from the button. That goes into a pulse extender which goes round here into a clock which sets off these pistons, and it pushes all of the blaze into one spot in the far right there, and then I use the translocation bug to actually pull all of the blaze into this area over here. And once they're there, you get the mob softener here that's going to take them down to half a heart, and then you can take them out with your wooden sword. Just one hit, done. Sweep attack, all gone. So let's just see that in action. Here they all come. Getting softened. This has only been on for a few seconds, so there's not that many blaze in there. And then done. All gone. And then you collect up all the rods underneath. It's not a high drop farm, you know, you're going to get sort of maybe 20 at a time from this. So as you can see, I've been having a little bit of a play with this and killing things, and if you can have a look at my levels as well, let's see, game mode 0. Yeah, 72 levels. It's not bad as an XP farm. It does take a little bit of time to warm up, and once it's warmed up you get a regular ready supply of blaze. So yeah, why don't we actually go and have a little look at building this thing. Right, to build this farm you're going to need everything in this chest. Now I've got some packed ice and some glass down here at the bottom. The packed ice and the glass are optional. You can do it without the packed ice, although it isn't quite as efficient. It isn't quite as good. But everything else you're going to need basically that quantity of. The lapis, again, optional. That's just like the thing that I like to put my buttons and levers on, so it's clear where the power's going in and out. But yeah, there we go. So let's get on and build this thing. Right, so the first thing you're going to want to do is actually deactivate this spawner. When you go in there, there is going to be blaze absolutely everywhere. So do take a fire resist potion, it makes a big difference. So what I like to do is I like to put a block on top and a block on bottom like that, so that I know where the center is, and then come out 4 on each side. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're going to want to fill in all of this like so. You're going to want it to be a solid block so that no blaze can spawn in there at all. So 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. So you want to fill out corner to corner, top to bottom. So I'll get on with that and show you what it looks like. So that's what it looks like now, all covered in dirt, and I use dirt so that you can remove it easily without worrying about the spawner in the center there. So from here we want to go up an extra 1 right in the middle, that's there, and then we're going to have a half slab on top of there. Now that represents the roof, and these 2 blocks directly on top of the spawner we're going to leave there, because you don't want anything spawning directly on top of the spawner, because they get stuck there and they just stand there forever. And it doesn't make a huge difference with this farm, but it's just not good. You know, it's best practice to make sure that nothing spawns on top of the spawner. So that's where the roof's going to go. So why don't we fill in the roof area first? So you want to actually do exactly the same. You want to bring it out to the 4th block here and there on each side, and you just want to fill that in as a flat roof. Now I'm doing this on the lower half of the block so that nothing can spawn on top of here. So here we go. That's the roof all done. So next we need to put on some walls. Now I'm just going to go 1 block out from here and add some half slabs, and I'm going to put them on the lower half again, and we're just going to run them all the way around the outside. I like to use half slabs because it doesn't block the spawning algorithm, and it's kind of looks cool. You can still see in, all that kind of thing. So right, here we go. I'll fill in all of this, and we're going to fill it in all the way down to the bottom of the dirt. So there, there and there, and that's going to be our outer wall. So let's go ahead and do that. Right, so this is what we've got so far. So next up we need to put on the lower half, and we're going to use solid blocks for that, just because we don't want the blaze to see you from in there. So if we go down 6 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, and then we go in by 1. And this one is actually going to be the solid floor sort of area where the blaze are going to sit. Now I'm using iron here because I'm actually going to have the pressure plates on these ones right here going all the way across, and we want to have this one taken back out. So it needs to be in this formation, down 5, then in and across 1, or down and across 1, like that. I'm using the iron because the pressure plates actually, you know, don't make a difference with the ice underneath, so we might as well save on the ice and do it like that. So let's just run those across by the 9 blocks. So that should line up with the dirt corner there, and if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's lovely. Now you only need to do it like this on 2 of the sides. So I'm putting the pressure plates down there, and on the opposite side you need exactly the same as this. In between it's going to be the packed ice. So let's get all of that sorted out, and I'll show you exactly what I mean, because I'm not explaining this very well and I can tell, but I think once you see it, it will make more sense. Okay, we'll be back in a moment. So there we are, that's what we have now, and I've left these 2 sides open because I'm going to be replacing some of this area with furnaces. Now the furnaces are non-movable blocks, and we're going to have slime at this level here, so we want to have the furnace coming along here like this. Whoops, that didn't work. Like that, and then because we like to do things nicely, we have them facing back into each other from this side, so that when you see it, you never actually see the furnace front. So that needs to go above and below the slime blocks, and like I say, the slime blocks are going to rest at this level, so we need to do it here, and because the slime blocks are going to pop in and out, we need to have 2 here as well. So let's just show you these ones. If I come out there and then spin round, face one back in there, then it looks nice and neat. So that's the formation that we need to go for, like this, and we're going to run these all the way across the top again. Let's see if I can do this slightly more quickly, and like that. And then back onto this side, we want to have one facing out and one facing in. So 1, 2, let's take that one away. Whoops, that wasn't too good. I forgot there was no floor there. And one there like that, and take that one back out. So that's the kind of look that you want to go for, and you want to have the same on the opposite side there, and this all just filled in with solid blocks. It doesn't have to be iron, it can be any old block that you like, but iron's nice for this because it's easy to count. Okay, so I'll do the other side and we'll be back in a moment. So that's what we now have. That's both sides filled in with a furnace furnaces, ferni, I don't know. So yeah, next up we want to put in some signs, and the signs are going to go at this level here. So 1, gosh, 2, 3, 4. Now I would do it like that. I would do 4s all the way across these outside walls, and then from the middle do another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that all matches up, so that if anything does happen, if you break one of these blocks and you lose a row of signs, you've only ever got 4 to remove, or 4 to replace, sorry, and on one block 5. So like this, so that it covers all of the areas. So we want signs all the way across here, and same on the opposite side, going in by 4. So I'll get on with that and we'll see you in a few minutes. So there you go, this is what you should now have with all of the signs up there. They're just going to hold back the lava. Once we've put that in sort of towards the end, it's going to hold back the lava and stop it from coming all the way down into the bottom here and getting blazes stuck in it and all sorts of things. So next up is we need to put in a sticky piston on each side facing inwards. So I'm just going to pop out here, place a block there, and same on the other side right there. Go back in and get my sticky piston and face it inwards like that. So like there, and the same on the other side there. Okay, so once we've got that in, I'm going to go back outside now, take that away, and we're going to place even more furnaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's all the way across there. So it kind of looks like this now, and we're going to do the same on the opposite side there. So let's just quickly place those. I should really make sure that I've got that end one facing back inwards. So if I face another one there and then get rid of that one and then face it back in like that, then that's nice and tidy on that end. And I'll just do the same here. Doesn't really matter which way that one goes because I'm going to take it back out. Let's see there, like that. So that's nice and tidy. So let's go back inside now and put in the sticky stuff, the slime. So we're going to go all the way across here with the slime. So like that. So one on there. There we go. Now all those furnaces are going to make sure that the slime doesn't get stuck to anything or cause any problems. And yeah, that's basically that layer done. Now the next thing up is the flooring area here. You can either use the packed ice or any other block that you like, but the packed ice is going to give you a better result. So I'm going to use the packed ice for this because I can. Not everybody's going to have that available. So we want to come in by 1, 2 on that side, and then 1, 2, 3 on that side. So you've got a gap of 2 in the middle. And then I'm going to run this all the way down again and just fill that in. So there you go. Now that's your first floor finished with. So the blaze are going to come down here. They're going to land on the pressure plate. We're going to do some redstone next. And they're going to land on the pressure plate, bang, the slime's going to pop out, push them into this middle channel, and then they drop down to the next layer to get pushed into the middle. So next up is the redstone. Now this is quite simple, to be honest. You just want to run your redstone across this back lane right here. Boom. Now if you're having trouble placing that, you need to hold down shift whilst placing it on the furnace, otherwise it's not going to handle it very well. Now the idea is here that we're going to get a signal from this block here, which we're then going to pass to that block there, which is then going to power that there. So let's just go through that one more time. It's going to be there to there, whoops, can I do this? There, and then that powers this line. So wherever the blaze lands, the signal is going to get passed up and run along and then hit this piston and then pop out the slime blocks. Let's just go in and test that. So we know we've only done these two at the end. So a blaze comes down, bang. they get hit in the face, and that's that. And then you get the same for this one here, and that's how it works. Basically the signal switches this torch off, which switches this one on, so these are inverting, and then when that one comes on it powers this line, which powers a piston. Really simple and tileable, so you can just run along doing that, running on to all of these, and this one's actually just going to get powered directly into the piston. So if we go inside, all of those should be up and working now, anywhere they land. Yeah, lovely. And let's go right into the corner here. Yeah. So let's do the same on the opposite side as well. So to make the next layer down, we're going to have to remove a little bit of what we've put in here already. So you're going to want to take out these 2 blocks directly over the gap that you've left. These 2 blocks as well. So the reason that we're doing that is because we need to put in more furnaces. So that to there, and if I can just pop that on there, yeah, that one works nicely. And that to there, same on the opposite side. So up and there, and then let's see if I can squeeze that one in. Yeah. So that's the kind of thing that we're looking at. We need to go for one below as well, but we need to get in a piston first as well. So let's just put in a couple of blocks like this, and slime's going to sit here, so the piston's going to sit right there. So just like, can I do this? That to there. And then you can take these back out because you don't need those anymore. And same on the opposite side. It doesn't matter which side it goes on, you could have them alternating. I kind of just like them both sat in the same place really. So like that there, take those back out. There we go. Now let's put in the slime next. So the slime goes there and there, because this is going to make it easier for us to place the furnaces below. So that to there, and then furnaces facing into each other right there. Oops, that didn't work. And then I broke the wrong one. Okay. I think actually doing this would be easier if you could play the guitar. You need fingers that can do all sorts of things. I never learned to play the guitar. So that to there, done. Now next up we want to run down the standard blocks right here. So all the way down there, and same on the other side. And this is just going to keep them nice and trapped in the middle. There we go. Next up is I'm going to put in the blocks right here, which are going to be where the pressure plates sit. I'm basically taking out any blocks that I don't need because it actually makes this build a little bit more convenient. So that's where the pressure plate sits, right there and there, and there and there. Now next, let's just run in 1, 2 and 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. So this means that when the blades get knocked down from here, they're going to just sit in a little 2x2 hole, which is perfect for us to get them all gathered up and then moved away to where we want them moved to. So let's do the redstone in over here now. Basically you can do exactly the same as what we did before, which is to get a furnace right there, facing into that one, 2 redstone lamps, sorry, not just 2 redstone, and then a piece of redstone on top. Now that should mean that all of that kicks off whenever a blaze lands on either pressure plate. So let's do the same right here. Let's just sneak in there, let's see. That to there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a bit of redstone on top. There we go. So let's just go inside and test that. There we go, that's lovely. And let's get right into the corner and test this one, make sure that it is working. Yep. So there we go, that's basically how the blades are going to be gathered up into one position. So next up we need to create the gathering chamber. Actually, before we do the gathering area down there, I just remembered it's worth putting in trapdoors right here. So 1, 2, like that, 1, 2. And that just means any blaze that land here, they might walk up to this edge and just walk off. It's a little bit hit and miss, but you know, it just gives you those few extra options. I did try it with the trapdoors down this side, but what ended up happening was the blaze would get bounced off and they'd hit the trapdoors and just stop. So you don't want them at this level. You do want them at this level. If you wanted to make this without any of these slime blocks or redstone, basically you can just get rid of the pressure plates, get rid of all of the furnaces and all of the slime blocks and redstone that we've just put in, and just put trapdoors down this edge. And they'll walk up to it thinking they can walk across, and they'll just fall down, and then they'll do the same then. The only difference is with that, you kind of have to get more blaze in this area before you get up to the same capacity. So it's sort of the warm-up time that's different. So right, next let's get this gathering thing done. So from this level we want to go down 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now this is where they're going to stand, which is very nearly at ground level here. So yeah, let's just get that down and that there. Oops. Right, so that is where the blaze are actually going to be gathered up into that little 2x2 area. Now you want it to be a little bit deep, just so that they fall down far enough and they can't get back out. Right, so now that you've got your drop chute in, we need to actually have a look at which side we're going to start building the redstone and various things on, and where the blaze are going to be fed out to. So you need to have a look sort of along this axis here, and you can see you've only got 2 blocks there and you've got 3 blocks there. So we want to go on the side where you've got the most blocks, which is over here. And we're going to put in a little hole there, and that's where our translocation pistons are going to go. And we're going to have 2 there and 1 there. So we're going to have pistons at this level here. Let me just actually show you and put them in. So if I put that there and there, then you can actually see what I'm talking about. So we need to have some sticky pistons, sticky pistons, get rid of the trapdoors, don't need them anymore. And we need a sticky piston there, and there, and there. And then you can put blocks back on the face of those ones. Now they're going to push in from these 2 sides and push all the blaze into this one position. And then we're going to have the translocation pistons pull them out, just there. So let's see, if I go up here I can get out there quite easily, and we can have a little look at this from the outside. So yeah, the blaze are going to be pulled out to here, and then we're going to have another run of pistons right here, which are going to pull them out just that little bit further. Whoops, there we go. And they're going to get pulled out to right there. So for me, on the other one which I did, I actually had a wall right there, which is kind of a nice position to have a wall, to be honest. And then you can have a trapdoor, oops, trapdoor going into there like this. And that's where they're going to get held in place. Whoops, not there, like this. And a block on top. So that's where we want to get them to. We've put in all the pistons that are going to help us achieve that. Let's put in a couple more blocks here so that we've actually got the little runway for them ready, so that when it comes down to the time we can just press go and it's all going. So and I need one there as well. So you've got all your pistons in place. Let's actually get some redstone going on this. So we want to come out 4 blocks like this. So you've got this kind of formation. So a little 8 block area coming out in 2x4s. And then we're going to run some blocks here. And this is going to be your line in. So you can place a button there, ready to go. And the line in is going to go there. We're going to have a little pulse extender here. And then it's going to feed off to a timer. So from here we need to go down and across, and then back up, and then we're going to have a various things going on here, so you just have to bear with me for a moment. Let's put some redstone in and it'll start making a bit more sense. So that feeds into there, and then that feeds into, let's see, no, that's not right, that's not meant to be there, that's meant to be here, and then that's meant to be there. So this is the start of our clock. So let's do the clock first, and this is really simple. Let me get the redstone on my bar. Do I have any redstone there? No, I've thrown it away in the process. So we want to get the comparators, the resistors or whatever, all in there. So redstone, 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 and repeater on 2 ticks. And that's your clock, done. And that's going to make sure that these pistons fire repeatedly whilst this block is being powered, which is going to be powered by the pulse extender, which is going to be powered by the button. So if I just take out that little redstone torch there, you'll get to see that firing, and that's the kind of regularity that I want these to be firing at. So let's put that back in, and that's going to lock this clock, and then we can put in the redstone line across here, running straight across there to your button, so that when I press the button, that's the clock firing. But it doesn't fire for long enough, so I'm going to put in a pulse extender here, and that's just going to be 2 comparators facing each way, and that's going to extend the pulse of the button quite substantially. So if I press that now, the button pops out, it's still going. Perfect. Right, now that we know that the clock's all up and working, we just need to go up on top of this torch by 1, and then stepping back down to cover those, and we're going to put redstone there and there. Now that's going to make sure that this block gets powered, which will power these 2, which will power those 2. So that's that. Next we need to come down a little bit further to there, and we're going to come out and we're going to actually power a block directly behind that piston. So just like this. Whoops, can I do that? Accuracy is not great. And then we want to come into there like that, and I think we don't need that block actually, that can go. So we want to get our repeaters in here, so we want to get a repeater there on 1 tick and a repeater there on 1 tick, and then we can put redstone dust around this slot here, going round, round, round like that, and then that there. So that one there is actually going to power these pistons here, which are inside, and that's going to make sure that everything gets pulled out properly. So if we give that another test, make sure that we can see everything working properly. What I'll do is I'll just put in a redstone torch just here so we can actually go around and look at it all properly. So yeah, that's ticking away, that's powering those, that's going around here, that's powering that, that's doing its job, they're going to pull out there. Lovely. Let's get rid of that redstone torch again. Whoops. Yeah, that's to there, that's to there. And yeah, we're basically ready now to put in our dispensers up at the top. So why don't we go do that next? So you need to find the central block, and I'm just going to mark that quickly so that it's easy to see where things are. And you just need to go out on a diagonal like this from that central block. So you've got one in between, and then it's the next one diagonally. And then, let's see, I need some of these slabs. I'm just going to run these all the way around like this, and this is where we're going to place the redstone to actually connect it all up. And I'm going to put a cross in the middle as well, just to be sure. Now next we can get down there and get some dispensers. Now this is going to be the slightly risky bit for you guys, is this, because as soon as you make a gap you're going to get a spawn. And there. Oops. Getting lost. That's no good. Right, so over there. I mean, we're almost at the stage now where we can actually release the blaze into this. I just want to put on a switch off system for myself really, because I don't want them spawning all the time whilst I'm building this. So yeah, let's get out of here and whoop, like that. Cover that off, And then back up top, we can put in some lava buckets. Oops, like that. Lava buckets into each. Like that, and then I need to get some redstone back again. So redstone, don't need those anymore, that's all done with. And then I want redstone over all of this. And just to prevent more from spawning, I'm just going to switch the state there like that. So that should now be putting out lava inside. Now that we've got all that set up, let's get it wired up to the little base area down below. So where's the front side gone? There it is. Now I'm going to come out by 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's see. Rightfully the lever should go there. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Let's see if we can fit it in there. So lever goes on there. That's going to switch the state, which means that we need a... Ooh, I don't think we can go that close. We've got to bring it out at least one more. So that can go to there. And then we need, below the lever on the back, some blocks like this. And we need that to come out to exactly there. And on that one, we're going to place a block on top with a redstone torch. And then we can just put some redstone in right there, so that when we flick the lever, that torch goes off. And then we're just going to go up with a torch tower. Right, now I want this to go up just a little bit higher, but not too much higher. So I'm going to do this little tricky here, which is to change its height just a little bit. Right, I want it at that height so that I can actually just run this straight in without going too high and stepping up and down and all that kind of thing. So from there I want to come out 2 blocks, up 1 like that, and oh, that's not going to be perfect, but we can just put a little block there. So we want to have redstone on there, there and there. Now on top of this redstone torch we're going to put a sticky piston like that and block on its face. Now that's going to actually switch the state of this so that, well, let me get the repeater in first and then I'll explain it properly. So you actually need a repeater right there as well. So when that torch goes off, then this is going to be still powered for a second after this is retracted, which is going to send a pulse down into this. And when it comes on, this is going to power just before that block cuts it off there. So every time we throw the lever, these are going to switch state. So let's just see if I can demonstrate that. Yeah, so let's just throw the lever. We'll see the redstone tower switch. And then we'll see that the lava has gone off. And then when I throw the lever again, into the up position, that's the lava on. So this is more like it's acting like a button, but you've got an on state and an off state, which is how I like it. I like to have a sign here that says lava on, sign at the bottom, lava off. So that's that all done. Next up, you can actually get in there and replace or get rid of all of the dirt, and then you're ready to go. Right, so that's your on-off system all dealt with, and if I just pop down here you can have a little look inside. Whoops, see if I can make it through the hole. And that's a little gathering up area. Basically everything's done. The only thing that needs to be dealt with now is the mob softener part of this, which is going to be a piston. Let's get the piston in place, and it's going to be a sticky piston right there. And that's going to push straight down into the headspace of the blaze and reduce them down to half a heart. And yeah, it's a little bit of a complicated circuit, but you know, it'll all be worthwhile. And if I just build this up a little bit, that'll be nice. And then normally I'd have a little roof on in front of this, so that you can't actually see the piston and the wiring that will be going to the piston. So yeah, that's what it kind of should look like. You can build this out as much as you want from here. So yeah, now we need to get this piston set up and powered with a timer. So let's have a go at that. We want to come out here by 1 block or 2 blocks and then up like that. I should really leave that in. It isn't a problem. It's just habit. So then 2 blocks here, and then coming out, up, and then up again, like that. But you do need to remove that one, and then coming out 2 there. So that's what we've got right now. If you build that out, and then we'll add some redstone to it. So we're going to add some redstone there, a redstone torch, redstone there, redstone torch, and finally some redstone there. So what this is going to do is it's going to make sure that this gets a pulse when this switches off. So when that's not powered, when it changes state from powered to unpowered, it's going to send a little pulse down here. So let's see if I can show that. So that goes on. That looks powered, it's all powered. And then you saw it switch off then, very briefly. And that's just going to sort of be to set off the timer. Anyway, we've got a lot to do on this, and you'll see it properly in a moment. So next up, we need a sticky piston right on the edge there. See if I can get it. Oh. Okay, place a block there, put a sticky piston on top. And on that, you want a block of redstone. Let's get rid of that lever because I don't need that anymore. And then we're going to have underneath that a solid block. And then we're going to step this up like that. And then again. And then we're going to lead that round like this. And then around here is actually where the timer's going to go. So let's get some of the redstone in here. So we want a piece of redstone there, and we want a torch there, and then we want some redstone here, 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 here. Now this is going to make sure, let's see if this works this time, if you can see it properly, that you get a solid pulse coming to this point. See, there you go, you just got a solid pulse when that's switched off, not before. Right, so that's that circuit done basically. So now we need to get in our little timer system. Sorry, I extended that one too far without really thinking. I was just building it out so that we could have a look at it. So that goes to there, and you want a redstone torch on the side of that. And then right here, we're going to go across like that. And we're going to come back by 2, 1, 2. Like that. And then we want a comparator there. Do I have my comparators? Not a hand, I don't. Typical. So a comparator right there, redstone torch there and there, and then from the back here we want another sticky piston on the same level there with another redstone block on it. And then on top of that we want our hoppers. Where are our hoppers? They're right there. Don't need the redstone block anymore. So the first one's going to go here. Oops. And the next one's going to go here. So that's our timer. Basically we need to put in some items in there, and I'm pretty sure it's 24, but I found that it varies for some reason, which is kind of weird. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 24 items which I'm going to place in the hopper. Right, so what should happen is when the when this unpowers at the back here, the pulse extender, that's going to unpower this when that unpowers, and that's going to send a signal up here which is going to switch the state of this. Now that actually needs to be facing into there. Don't get that wrong. It needs to be facing in. They need to be facing into each other, so they need to be able to pass back and forth, which I nearly forgot. So yeah, that's going to come through here. That's going to send a pulse to there, which is going to power this, which is going to unpower that, and stuff happens, magic happens. And then this will actually be retracted for the time it takes for the 25 items to pass from one hopper to the other. So if I just pop that there, or the 24 items I should say. Oh, did I lose some items? Oh, it's facing... comparator's the wrong way, I'm sorry. So the comparator needs to be facing out this way, like that. Let's try that again. This should work this time. So the pulse extender breaks, yep, and then that pulls back, and then that's going to send us a signal straight over there. So we can just very easily go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I actually want it to come from this position here. And I should go down one actually to make sure that I get the signal. So into there like that. Maybe I should run that into a block. That would be a bit neater, wouldn't it? Into a block like that. Now what should happen now is all of the blades get pulled forward. Once they're finished being pulled forward, the piston gets extended into the headspace and that starts suffocating them. And then it retracts once they've taken as much damage as they can, up to half a heart left, and then you're ready just to give them the hit. So let's give this a try. If I switch that off, that should get the lava. This is going to take a little while to actually clear. So let's go around the front here, press the button. They're all getting pulled out into this block. Piston gets extended. They're taking the damage. Now let's actually just clear my inventory down and grab a sword. Oh, that was one too many. Sometimes you need to make a little bit of an adjustment on this, and I found myself having to make the same adjustment 2 or 3 times. So if I just take one out of there, so there's 23 items, run the same test. Only got a couple this time. It takes a few minutes to warm up, otherwise, you know, it just runs at a constant rate. But you need a certain amount of them up there to actually push the rest of them around. So there we go. And because I'm not stood on a solid block, it's only letting me do a single attack rather than a sweep attack. And there you go. And finally, we can just put in a little collection system. So where's our hoppers and our chests? So we get a hopper there. And a chest. Whoops. I really shouldn't try and spell on camera. So, yep, that's there. We can actually go inside there. It's perfectly safe. And we can just put in our hopper. Right there. Whoops. Right, let's give this one more go. And then use the sweep attack. Lovely. And some drops. Obviously you get better drops if you use a looting sword, but you don't need anything better than a wooden sword to do this job. And yeah, then you can build out this room however you want it really, and that's it, job done. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, I hope you found this useful, and I hope to see you again. And if you did enjoy it, please do leave a like, and if you'd like to see some more of this, add a subscribe, because I'm always putting out new tutorials and new bits and bobs. So, thank you very much for watching once again, and we'll see you again. Goodbye!